Hey there, Bible buddies. I've got another Bible review for you today, and this one is a large print compact Bible produced by Crossway, and it's the ESV translation. It's the 2016 text, and this one is in buffalo leather in the deep brown coloration. So I'll go ahead and let you guys take a look here at the clamshell box. See all the panels, all of Crossway's fancy design work. They do an excellent job doing a very nice, clean design with their product. There's the UPC and the ISBN, brief description. And then here's some more of that pertinent information if you want to go ahead and pause. I'll leave it for you so you can read it, and some endorsements there. Now it is a clamshell box. You know, over the years, I really don't like clamshell boxes. I wish they would do two-piece boxes. Two-piece boxes tend to hold up better. I noticed clamshell boxes tend to tear along the seam and then it just comes apart. Not specifically Crossway boxes, I'm just saying in general. Also, like if there's a lot of weight on these, say if you have a couple Bibles stacked up, I've noticed these tabs tend to start pulling out, and it just makes the box look kind of blah. I wish manufacturers would stick to two-piece boxes. I don't know why they moved away from two-piece boxes. Maybe it's slightly cheaper to do a one-piece. I don't know. I'm not privy to that information. So here we have the Bible, beautiful edition. Look at this wonderful coloration there. Nice dark, deep brown. That grain is very fine, very tactile, very natural looking. You do have a nice perimeter stitch line all the way around. I don't remember this edition being very expensive. I bought it a little while ago, actually, now. But it's a very nice edition. These very nice raised spine hubs. Look at that. 4 raised spine hubs, actually legitimately raised. Very nicely done. You have Holy Bible, the ESV logo, the ESV logo, English Standard Version, and then Crossway's logo on the back. Just more of that beautiful leather. And the stitching continued. We do have dark brown head and tail bands. Goodness, pause myself there for a second. A nice gold gilt, very nicely done. And then we just have a single-sided brown satin ribbon. And actually, for the price of this Bible, I'm okay with it, and for the size of it, I'm okay with it being a little bit narrow of a ribbon. I feel like compact Bibles and smaller should have narrow ribbons like this. They look a little weird when you get to the 10mm ribbons that most larger format Bibles use. Let's go ahead and get into it. We have a dark brown synthetic liner. There's the corner work. You can see the stitching on the reverse side. And it does appear to be reinforced, although it's fairly narrow, the reinforcing tape that they use, but it does look like it has some reinforcing tape there to kind of help it out as far as longevity is concerned. You have that end sheet, and you have a couple blank pages there, some thicker paper-free sheets, but it's like a very high gloss paper, so I would not recommend writing on that. And this is the presentation page. The presentation page feels like a semi-gloss. It's not quite as glossy as these pages, but you'd want to be very careful if you're filling this out not to smudge the ink, because it feels like it would still smudge. Then you have your title page. There you go. We'll get to the copyright page next. There we go. And you can see it's a 2016 text up there. And then I'll pause it if anybody wants to pause and read. It does appear to be the 13th printing of 2020, and it was done by R.R. Donnelly and Sons. That's a Chinese company. We have our table of contents, and the books of the Bible in alphabetical order. The preface. Oh, missed one. Also, the explanation of the features included in this edition. We have our Old Testament title page. And Genesis. There you guys go. Take a look. So go ahead and turn a couple of pages in. Something a little more consistent. So there you go. You can see that we have the book name and then the starting chapter and verse. On the opposite outer page, we have the ending chapter and verse. In the middle of the top, we have the page numbers. And then we have kind of running headers throughout the sections. Now, these running headers are throughout the sections. They're not just at the beginning of the chapters. And we can see it's a double column paragraph. There are some kind of semi-bold verse numbers there that are sans serif and font. So they stick out just a little bit. Yeah, sometimes that 7 is kind of hard to see. I've noticed in longer runs of text, like say here, they do kind of get washed out a little bit. They're kind of hard to find. So I would imagine this is not going to be the kind of thing that you're probably going to want to take with you to church to follow along with a fast pastor. You're going to be probably struggling because they are a little on the light side. But for reading, certainly if you're on the go, this would be a great addition. You can see that there's poetic settings, and there are footnotes down at the bottom. I'll show you guys those. Let's get to a poetic section. We'll take a look. Get to Psalms, and there we go, Psalms 119. You can see they use the little indicators there at the beginning of each section. Now, obviously, this is a kind of a, I don't want to say a value version, but it wasn't super expensive given the fact that it's a nice leather edition. And I think I got it on sale too, so it's probably less than, what it's listed for now, if it's even still available. But you can see that the paper is kind of meh. Thin paper nowadays is kind of a miss. Really, a lot of the paper nowadays is kind of a miss unless it's like a premium edition. So for these kind of mid-range editions, the paper's really, it's going to be kind of a gamble. And this paper, I would say, is, mid-tier, probably a little bit less, to be honest, than mid-tier, because you can see quite a bit of ghosting through the paper. I can almost read the following page, like not the backside of this sheet, but like the following sheet after it. So it's got some pretty heavy ghosting there, and especially like in this instance here with the 119 showing through. So not the best paper. We'll flip through and get to Matthew. Now, obviously, in sections like this where there's not so much white space, right, it looks fairly good. Right, you're not going to have any issues there because the text behind it is lined up. So it's not bad by any means. But in that poetic section, it's a little rough. And in these poetic sections, it gets a little showy throughy, if that's a word. Probably not. That's a red letter. I'm glad I held my tongue. I thought all ESVs would be black letter. But I guess I was mistaken. So here's the end of Malachi, the end of the Old Testament. Then we have our New Testament title page and the Gospel according to Matthew. Let's take a look at that red letter. It does look pretty nice. Red letters over the years have been really all over the place. This is almost, I don't know, maybe like a burgundy. So it's a pretty deep red, almost kind of like bordering on purple. It's not offensive. I kind of like it, to be honest with you. It's nice to see something a little bit different instead of that neon pink that I'm used to from the 1950s. So I'll give them a job well done on the red letter for this one. At least for me. I don't mind red letter, so I kind of prefer it. As long as it's well done. And this is all right. A little light, it looks like in places. You can see here. Right, it's fairly light kind of in this area. So not super dark, as opposed to even on the opposite page here. It appears a little bit darker. But let's get through the end of it. I'm not sure that there's any helps in the back. I guess we'll be pleasantly surprised. Oh, there's a few. Okay, I'm pleasantly surprised. There we go. There's the end of Revelation. And you get your tables of weights and measures, your table of weights and measures, your concordance and abbreviations. Concordance. Let me show you the note of the concordance. It's kind of weird that they have a little heading for it, but then it goes right into abbreviations. Wait. No, sorry. There's the concordance. I'll turn around backwards. All right, so here's the abbreviations for the concordance, and then here's your actual concordance. So very small text, goodness. Yeah, I should measure this. I love it when it's like extra small like this because it makes me curious about how small they can get the font and expect people to actually be able to read it. Ooh, man, oh man. Oh goodness, it is under a 5-point font. It's about a 4.5-point font to read. Not the main entries, but like the subtext under the main entries is about a 4.5-point font. So good luck reading this. I would say don't use this as a primary study edition. I don't even know why they have. I guess if you're in a pinch and you really need to, let me hop on that concordance right quick. But yeah, there's the end of the concordance, and then you have a few more blank sheets there, and then your end sheet right there. So not too shabby. Certainly a portable edition, very portable. Let's get some measurements so you can see just how portable it is. It is 6 and. I'm like counting the. It's been so long since I've had to count the ruler increments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6 and 7/8 of an inch tall. I remember that for next time. By 4 and 7/8 inch wide, and about 1 inch and 1/8 thick. So very trim, portable size. Like I said. Go ahead and get into it. We'll take a look at the font size of the main text. We'll go to a capital I. That'll work. And it looks to be about a 7.5 point font for the uppercase versus Times New Roman. And for the lowercase, a little bit bigger, thankfully. Ooh, a lot bigger, thankfully. It's about a 9-point font versus Times New Roman for the lowercase. So overall, it's a 9-point font, I would consider it. So, definitely a portable size. The font's good enough, right? Definitely better, an upgrade from a Pip Minion. The paper would be the only kind of swing and a miss, just given the kind of the opacity of it. But again, this is a more value version. I can't remember how much it was. I'll post a link for it, and I'll probably have this one up for sale because, like I said in a previous video, I'm getting older. It's getting harder for me to see this kind of stuff. So, and I certainly have other ESVs that I can read other than this, and I have other editions that I carry instead of the ESV. So, Bible buddies. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to leave them down below. Otherwise, until next time, bye.